Hey guys, welcome to the Isn Podcast. My name is Corbin Horton,
And I'm Zachary LaCastro here.
and we have a very special guest today. His name is Coach Hoots. He is head coach of the Itawamba Indians football team, which is currently undefeated this season. Welcome, Coach Hoots.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me.
Coach, tell us a little bit about your winning streak and how it's so astounding at this point in time.
Well, we're 10-0 right now, and our guys have played hard this season, and they worked really hard to get to this point, and we've caught some breaks along the way to get here, but it's been a long journey, and they've been working really hard, and each week they've taken the motto of playing 1 week at a time, and when you play 1 week at a time, you're focusing on just that week. You're not looking ahead for somebody else, and with that motto, they've been able to accomplish and put her head down, work hard, and 10 weeks later we're sitting here at 10-0. So
Who would you say has the best impact on the team?
there's several guys that impact the team in a positive way. From the obvious would be Ike Chandler with his running ability, tremendous athlete. He also carries himself in a very quiet demeanor and does things the right way. You look at Davion, the quarterback, Davion Sistrunk, and his ability on the field to manage the game and when plays break down, be able to sustain long drives. But you also have to look at some other guys. Our Mikael Miller Award winner is Quinn Bennett, and Quinn plays both sides of the football just like Day does. But Quinn's able to plays linebacker and plays tight end and fullback for us. And when you're a tight end and fullback and you're blocking all the time, that's as unselfish as you can be. He doesn't get to football very much, but he does a good job of blocking. He plays as hard as he can, and he won our team Mikael Miller Leadership Award. He won that. The team votes on that, and excuse me, the coaches do. But then you look at a guy like Cody Dowdy. Cody doesn't play very many snaps on Friday night, but during the week he's on every scout team. He's on special team scout teams. He does things the right way. He makes sure he helps with getting stuff situated for practice and little things like that go a long way. And being unselfish and helping each other go a long way into us being successful.
How would you the way that you have built up the teamwork aspect of the team, how did you do that to the point to where it is so just amazing to watch?
It's a process. It's a lot like life as far as how you handle it. Any situation you go into, you're going to work with other people, and being able to communicate with one another. Is the most important part. Number two for us is the work ethic. Having a strong work ethic, even when you don't feel like working that day, even when you show up and it may be a bad day. You may not feel good. You may not. It may have been up late. May not been able to sleep well. You still have to figure out a way to finish. You just got to figure out a way to go to work, and you got to figure out a way to get it done because 75 other guys are depending on you to do your job, and they bought into that. That's something that you'll learn from here on out. You have to use in life, and so our guys know that if they miss practice or if they're out for some other reason, then the rest of the team suffers for it. Just because they're not there to do their job, and that's something they bought into. The hard work aspect, the Indian pride aspect, has been built over 12, 14, 15 years. Having a pride in what we do and how we carry ourselves as a program has been a long-standing thing. So
I would like to zero in closer on like you're a little bit further into your background. Like how long have you been coaching, and like what kind of teams have you had to work with?
Well, I started out my coaching in 2003 at West Point High School. I coached 7th and 8th grade football. I also helped with the varsity staff, coaching defensive ends. And, my background is actually in baseball. I played college baseball at Mississippi State and graduated from Mississippi State, went to West Point, which was close by, had some connections there to coach baseball, and ended up coaching football that spring. And and my first fall with football, because I've always loved football. I played high school football, and my dad was a high school football coach for years, and so it was something that just kind of fell into place for me, and I fell in love with coaching aspect of it, and was able to win a state championship there with West Point as a defensive assistant, and was there for 5 years and left there and went to Smithville for 1 year, and was a defensive coordinator at Smithville. And that's when Coach Mitchell, Jamie Mitchell, moved here, and he called me and bring me on staff up at Itawamba in 2007, and I've been here ever since. Had several opportunities to leave, but this is home. Feels like home. It's always been home to me, just like where I grew up. And my boys are deeply rooted here. This is where their papas and mamas are, and those things are important to us. And that they're able to see their papas and mamas every day, and that's something that this family aspect of. My wife is from here; she grew up here and teaches here, and so that's been a big family aspect. As far as coaching goes, just it's one of the things that you don't get into for the money, you don't get into for the fame of it, because there's not a whole lot of it. The part you get into it for is the interaction with the guys, and the ability to teach the game, and more or less, give them what you know, but more importantly is to see them succeed down the road, see them be good daddies and good workers on down the road, and having successful lives. That's the most important thing. So
I would like to welcome you to come back anytime for another podcast. We've had a really, really awesome time today. Don't you think, Zachary?
Wonderful. It was really good to get some information on how wonderful this team's been this year.
well, I appreciate both of you guys for having me, and I'll be glad to come back anytime. Thank you guys.
Thank you.